Welcome back to Grown Folks Talking. I'm your host, CK Caesar, joined by my very, very awesome co-host.
Lola Chanel.
We're
Girl,
going to jump into it. Boy,
let's just get into it. First of
already.
all, I said, them people go throw Tyra under the bus. Little did I know that she deserved every lashing. So we both know, I said it already. I was not watching America's Next Top Model when it was in its prime. I was
Yes.
a elementary middle school student when it was in its prime. When it started, I was 4. I think it
Lord
started
have
in
mercy.
2003. So I was 4 when it started. So when it was at the height of its prime, I was a tiny tot. And my mama was like, absolutely not. You won't be watching this. And now I understand. Like my cousins and them would watch it and everything, and my older, I think my older sisters watched it. I don't know, but it was never a part of my ministry, and I understand why, because I would have had body dysmorphia, eating disorder, and all types of stuff because I was a thick, thick young girl living in the South.
Well, I'm not sure because I'm on the other end of the spectrum because I watched it from the beginning. I was a teen. I was, I was good in. If not a teenager, I was in college.
You were able to think for yourself for real. You were able to take care and think for yourself more clearly.
Yes, in the 90s. And I will say, I feel guilty because I watched every season, even when Nigel and
It
Jay
was
were
you.
done.
You were
Yes,
keeping them afloat. You were keeping the lights on.
right. She teased on a Breakfast Club, or she teased somewhere that there might be another one. I was like, I can't support you as a human being. I cannot support
it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be
even
the
it's the
same.
same. Even it's the same. I don't think I can support Tyra Banks. I can't. I hate to say that for a black woman. For a black woman, I don't know. Episode 3.
I was about to say, I thought that she was changing, but those answers that she gave was very clearly PR. Somebody told, so we gotta spin this because I was. Let's start with episode 1.
Episode 1. So the notes that I have, the ending of episode 1, great. I mean, that is what hooks people in. Not, I didn't want to say great because it ends with an accusation of sexual assault from Shandy. How she, but I was like, it, and I was like, well, I was gonna watch it anyway, but now I got to see how this happens. But the setting of it, when we talked about it in our trailer review, we were like, I want them to set this in the 90s where it was new, and we don't have what we know now to be reality TV. This was a wild west.
Was it first episode of the 90s?
Yes, it should be. Because it was around, she said she was watching American Idol and The Real World. So Real World, definitely, I watched Dating Myself. I watched The Real World from the very beginning when it was in New York, and watched it when it should have been canceled a long time ago.
Okay, so it says, okay, so maybe they, how pilots and stuff are, they were shooting it in the late. Okay, but the first airing didn't, the first originally aired episode is saying is like May to July of 2003.
Oh, okay. Early 2000s. Okay, so that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
That made me feel better in the
with
age
Shandy,
process.
I was confused because when we get to episode 2, I'm like, okay, was she sexually assaulted or was she like?
Well, see, she was a big story, and in the way they had it was that she was having a good time. The drinks were flowing. Everybody
she said she had 2 bottles of wine by herself.
But see, in the documentary we know that. I don't think that was told when that episode dropped. Somebody in the comments, check me, but from what I remember, this was some years ago, she was just having a good time, and then
Uh-huh.
she hooked up. It came off to me like she hooked up with the guy,
Yeah,
and then but we
that's
knew
what.
she had a boyfriend.
So when she was talking, and
Mm-hmm.
I had to check myself several times in watching this documentary because I was like, am I victim blaming? Because for some of the girls, I was
Mm-hmm.
just like, you you guys wanted the fame.
Oh, interesting.
You
I.
wanted to be, even
Mm-hmm.
after seeing these horrendous
Uh-huh.
things,
Uh-huh.
and
Here,
seeing the edits, you still was like, I'ma go and I'ma see it through.
but they're seeing
But
the
not
edits
with
after the
Shandy.
fact.
Yeah, okay, yes. But not with Shandy.
Okay.
I was confusion because I was like, well, was she assaulted? You know, you on a reality TV show and there are cameras everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Mm-hmm.
having a good time, you're young, but you know you got a boyfriend back home and he's possibly gonna watch this. You doing something like that is probably embarrassing, and then on top of it you got production being like, well, you can't call him, and then being
Yes.
like, well, you can call him, but we have to record it. I said he absolutely knew that he was gonna be on TV.
The dude.
Yeah, Shandy's ex-boyfriend Eric,
Oh, his boyfriend. Oh yeah, like that. When it
because
happened,
when
I
he
was like,
called her
he was.
stupid, I was
Yeah,
like, whoa,
It felt like a scene.
they're not
It felt
married.
like it.
She just had a little fun.
But small town. She was. Her story was she was very innocent, small town girl going to the big city, and now
Exactly, and
she's
that's
going.
why and you will get down with the get down if you've been
Right,
sheltered all your life and ain't nobody ever
and
let you outside. You
we
go get
found
down
out
with the get down.
she didn't have a good support system at home. Like, so she left. I don't think that was showed, or
No,
that didn't come
that
across.
didn't come up.
Right. It was only the fact that she wasn't hugged in a long time. But as with what we know about reality show, everyone has trauma. Well, not everyone has some sort, but no one comes from the, oh, I'm just great and
Yeah,
awesome,
like
I decided to be on the show.
I
Yeah,
it
everyone has
I
stories.
felt for those girls because they absolutely, like, it looked like they were picking
Mm.
vulnerable girls who would do anything
Hmm.
to be a model.
Some, and then I feel like some were what I'll kind of like Jay Alexander, where he's like, these are my standards. Okay, I'll loosen them. Okay, I'll loosen them. Okay, I'll loosen them because I know at the end and something's going to,
Mm-hmm.
either I'll win or I'll become a model. So, and then by the end, you're just like, I don't know who I am, and I have
That's the one
gone to my
thing I
limit.
was just like, this is not even a challenge show where you get financial money at the
Yeah.
end. You just get deals.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
I
the way
was,
it was pitched, it was like CoverGirl contract, IMG contract. Like that's the narrative that we all as viewers were given, and
uh,
everything everything is leading up to that moment. And so once you win, you made it, and only up until as the culture has evolved, society and we've
mm-hmm,
evolved, and you're just like Danielle, she tore it down, and she was like, I was ostracized or outcast because I
mm-hmm,
won. And I'm like, oh snap, that's
like that.
from Little Rock where we are
I was about
right
to
here.
say, hey,
But for the Shandy thing, I looking at it now, I was like, you were sexually assaulted, and cameras were on and kept rolling.
but they said she was in the shower with him first,
Mm-hmm.
and then they went to, like,
To the
but my thing is, yes, and was anybody in that situation able to give consent except for the camera producers, like
right,
the
right.
producers? So
It,
everybody in that situation was assaulted because the cameras were rolling.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. And
That's
then it's sticky because where were the other girls? Like were the
where
other
were
like
the other girl. Well, from the clips, it looked like there was another girl in the hot tub with them.
right. But then they all get out. So like what what was the other model saying? Hey, are you good? Are you? Or was it just like I'm not? Was everybody drunk and then things happened? And nobody.
Because they seem very young.
Yeah, everybody was very young. So then the onus to me goes on the production, the camera,
Yes.
whoever's clicking the director. We work
But
behind the scenes. The
this
director,
is
producer. Hey,
also the early
something.
2000s. People aren't, we are very, we have the terms, we have the language
Yeah,
now, we
yeah.
have the because in their minds, I'm doing my job. The whole premise is you signed up for
Mm,
24/7 camera footage. That's
camera
like
roll.
if you sign up for Big Brother, if you sign up for Love Island, like
Mm-hmm.
in Love Island
Mm-hmm.
now, it's not that it's on Peacock. They hunching all the time, and
Mm-hmm.
you see the night vision cameras
Right.
go
But
off.
they
So
know. But I hear you. But I'm also of the mindset because when she went to the second phone
it was
call
wrong.
and huh?
It was wrong.
Yes. It was
Oh, what
wrong.
was the
But when she
second
went to
phone call?
the second phone call where she's talking, where she was like they wouldn't give me the phone to call
Uh
her
huh.
boyfriend again, so she called and she's on the ground, and then the camera guy's like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I had to film this." So you as a person, like,
You as a person,
no,
in an entity, but you don't own this stuff, and you got to feed your family too. This is your bread and butter.
yeah,
It sucks,
it
but in
sucks.
theory, if I know that I want to work in this industry, I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm just I'm just the cameraman. I'm trying to make enough money so I can start my own production company. I need these contacts. Just like you desperate to be a model, I'm desperate to be a producer.
But
So it
right,
sucks all in all.
it sucks all in all. But I'm like, there was nobody that said, no, nobody with
And
power.
also men suck. So it probably wasn't no women in the room
In
for
of
real that
course,
could
of course.
put their cojones on the table and say, "Shut this down. Get her out that hot tub. You go to bed. You go lay down
Yeah,
and go to sleep
right,
because
right,
you
right.
gonna do something. You
That
don't
you.
went too far, and this is no longer consensual. Get her out that hot tub and go to
Yeah,
bed."
yeah. It's you know
It's
what, and as you say that, I remember the Real World, or not the Real World, Road Rules, Real World Challenge. There was some shady stuff going on where it was alcohol and similar situations, and that reality check is coming up soon. I can guarantee the
and
lines are blurry, and I
mhm.
think, like you said, we know now that consent was not had. You
A
cannot give
lot of these
consent when you are.
reality TV show challenge shows no longer allow alcohol. Like
Yep.
Love Island, there's no alcohol on that island.
And I
So
think for a
whatever,
reason. Yeah,
and that's
everybody
for a reason. So everybody who is,
doing stuff. We all are
do
in our
you
mind.
consent? Is
Right.
there mutual consent?
Mm-hmm.
Are you now uncomfortable and taking back your consent? Okay, we
Yeah.
can
And
we going there. This one
because
was
of these situations.
because of these situations,
Mm-hmm.
because everybody in that scene was assaulted in some way, and there was no consent to be had.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
and
So
and and yeah.
so Tyra touched on how she became like her in the industry
Mm-hmm.
as a fashion model, and I would say that she's one of the first, or one of the two pop culture models, like her and Naomi. But there's another
Mm-hmm.
documentary called Supreme Models, that talk about the black models of yesteryear, like Donnell and was Zendaya has an outfit and had a look based kind of on Danielle, was a black model who was from New York and then became a supermodel, like one of the, but she was a supermodel like on pages. Like you have to be in the
Mm.
fashion industry. And she had a life and everything, but like Beverly Johnson and Iman and people like that who paved the way for the Tyras. And I think Tyra is one that people that she transitioned from the modeling world out into pop culture, like her and Naomi Campbell, where we just had,
She is the pop
she was
culture,
that,
but
yeah.
everything, everything that the people have said about her, I am now inclined to believe that it is all true. Like, I want to support her. I want to believe
Yes.
that she has changed. I want to believe that she has atoned and made amends.
And episode one had me there. I was like, you know what? Everybody makes mistakes, and she said in one, I've made some effed up decisions. I know now. I've evolved. By episode three, I was like,
I knew from the clip when we first looked at the clips and I was doing all the things. I
mm-hmm.
said that they were going to throw her under the bus. She deserved to be up under the bus. There
But
was
it's slow. If you like it, like the
yeah.
one where we saw Ebony, the Harlem, not Harlem,
Mhm.
the girl from New York who was black, dark skinned, and
Mhm.
queer, and then Giselle, a Latina. So you saw her fighting to have a Latina on the show with the head. I was like, oh, okay. And her, like Danielle said, like her intent was strong, but then she lost her way very quickly.
That it
So
that I'm sure the money, the fame, the everything, having it's like with Shonda Rhimes in Thursdays.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At the height of it all, when people are tuning into something that I birthed, I created, this is my intellectual property, this is something that I am seeing from the ground up, and it
Yep.
has reached the highest of highest peaks, and I'm getting deals, and she got a TV show, she got her
She
own
sure did.
daytime TV show
Daytime talk
off
show.
of
Yes.
this. Like, she was at the height
Right.
of what you could only imagine as a black
Mm-hmm.
girl.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
and who was a
and
model who wasn't taken seriously, who was now she's a businesswoman, now she's a mogul. So the Ebony thing where they talked about like when she was saying that they called her skin ashy, and then Ebony was like, I thought if anybody got my B, Tyra, and that to me was the first seed of you. And Ebony said that she's like, I'm not a person. What I got from it is like, you're not investing in me as a person, you are
no,
invested in me as a product, like I'm a product.
it was, everybody was a
It was a
product.
product. Mm-hmm.
And
Even Nigel and Miss
unfortunately,
J and Mr. J products. And then the
when we
homegirl
get to
was she was her. So was he.
when, in the end, it ain't fun when the rabbit got the gun. Because everybody else was able, well, not everybody, because those women, they I remember on TikTok, his video was in there. I remember when he
Yeah.
dropped that video and was like, I don't know. And the only America's Next Top Model contestants that I could ever tell you about is Takara,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Eva,
Yeah.
Yaya DaCosta,
Yep.
and Winnie Harlow. And I didn't even, for a
She
long time, I didn't even know Winnie Harlow was on America's Next
Yeah,
Top Model.
me neither. And I watched the season. I had to watch it later on to realize, oh, that's who they're talking about. Because she went far, but she didn't win. But what you were saying about when you were saying when you were young, your mom wouldn't let you watch it because you were a chunky girl.
Yeah, no.
I was a chunky girl as well. And what I tuned into was you can manipulate your face and and how you pose in a picture
Mm-hmm.
to make yourself look good. So it never. I was like, I'm not going to be a model, but I can pretend I am in my mind with the smizing and
Yeah.
how to do this and like there are pictures of me teaching my sister like how to cave your stomach in and how to stand out and how whenever there's a group picture I will always do something to stand out and all that was kernels that I learned from Top Model. I was like, I was like, and when one girl, the one girl who was plus size, and she said she was a size 6, I said, oh my Lord.
The plus size model that won that year, when they went back, because in the documentary she's
Right.
curvier now.
Right.
When they go back, I'm thinking that she's going to be. I said, that's plus size. That was plus size back
That
then.
was plus
Oh
size.
my God. But then I have to realize I also grew up in the South. So everybody got hips and dips and curves from
Right.
where I'm from. You
Yeah,
know, they stacked
for sure. For sure.
stallion.
And,
They
and
got
even and even on the show, when you look at, like, she was like, I'm competing against size 0s and size 2s. And I was like, looking at her, the 6 does stand out, but in the world, you
in the
go to
world.
any store, you a 6, you in
You,
the
you
small section.
can go and buy your clothes out of the store.
Regular stores,
You could
any
go
store.
down to wherever. You could go down to Express and
Yes.
H&M and
The limited, not Lane Bryant.
not, you don't have to go to Torrid. Shout out to Torrid. Love you.
So,
You
indeed.
don't have to go to the back racks and scavenge through
Yeah.
the florals and the polka dots and the.
Mm-hmm.
But she was considered
Plus
plus
size.
size.
And the way it was shot, it was like, oh yeah,
She
bless you.
they
And
was
Takara as well. But
they
Takara
was
was
like, you
like, come
fat
on.
beluga whale, and I'm like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
It.
And even Kenya, when she was like, they were choosing pictures and telling her to her stomach in, and I was like,
But
wish
there
I
were
could.
girls who were impressionable in that way,
Mm-hmm.
who in the documentary they have
Yeah.
people saying, like, I saw those episodes and I looked in the mirror and said, I am fat and nasty.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking like, oh girl, if I was of age during that time,
Mine wrong. Mine.
mine wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Honey, that I and it's upsetting because you see them going through all, like, y'all got medical on site because these
Yeah.
girls are passing out. I I was just like, whoa. I couldn't even watch some of I was tuning out in some of those episodes because I was
Mm-hmm.
like, there's just, because once again I was like, I had to check myself and my victim blaming, because there's no way that you're gonna tell me that you're gonna surgically close or open my gap for a TV show.
See where you're too evolved, because they're talking to you constantly. Well, it's gonna be hard for you to get work. How bad do you want it?
I don't want it that bad. I ain't never wanted nothing that bad. I don't like surgery for real. I don't like being in the hospital for real. I hate needles. Uh, that girl that goes viral for walking out, that would have been me.
Yeah.
There's that.
But
I'm
the
going
one
home tonight.
Joanne who had the snaggletooth, which I was like, I can totally see the
And then she
opportunity.
said, I still have problems with my teeth today.
Yes,
I
that
still
can't
have
get.
some problems. So not only did you do it thinking
Mm-hmm.
that it would help you and thinking it would further
Yeah.
your career,
Rear. Mm-hmm.
you still have problems to this day.
To this day. So episode 1, it went from a little engine that could, nobody believed
Nobody
in the show.
believes she
We
done
had to
went
take
through
it to
all the networks.
we had to go to UPN, the black network that ended up being in CW, to get on air. She fought for the diverse cast. You had the villain in Giselle, Janice Dickinson, one of the judges. You started with the body shaming, and the ashy skin, then the microaggression, and then the body shaming with Giselle, which was like, oh, your butt is too wide. That she says she still carries on to this day. And you looking at that woman's frame back in the day, and you like,
You can fit comfortably in an airport seat.
enough said.
And enough said. I was just like,
that she still carries to this day.
That you still carry to imagine the psychological warfare that had on you. The fact that this episode aired almost 23 years ago, 24 years ago almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you are still carrying this. You still think about this because people aren't not watching these shows,
right,
and talking about them today, because America's Next Top Model during the pandemic and during the height of TikTok had been off for at least
a while,
a long periodical time, and people are going back and watching these episodes and having opinions and talking about them now. So now your trauma of what you probably pat down,
yes,
in your bag is back.
Is back, and it ends with what we know now is non-consenting sex or the worst sexual assault. Episode 2, Danielle, who I would love Danielle to come on the show because I feel like Danielle.
We talk back. I would love to interview her.
Oh my goodness, she was one of my faves on because she had the best story. Like, I'm not going to close my gap, or I'll shorten it a little. And she ends up, why can't a cover girl have a gap? So from Little Rock, and they talk about the creative choices of the show, which watching it, it was cool to see. Again, this is new reality.
Very squirmish show. I probably would not have watched. I probably would have turned it off as a young type because I'm a Disney. There were Disney episodes for Halloween that frightened me as a child. So imagine me watching these women be hung up and strung up in the air, and the crime scene ones, and I was just like,
but also,
is everybody okay?
Yes, but you also gotta think it'd be like those were the worst. So the documentary focused on the worst creative choices.
True.
Regular regular choices that were just like, oh, fine, not a big deal. Or I might have to go back and be like, oh, that was.
It all seemed like it was a big deal because when I say I'm watching this and I'm like, I too would have, if I were my mother, I would have been like, no, you can't watch that. It seemed like a lot.
Looking back now, it seems like a lot. At the time, I'm gonna say just a regular ATM episode. Only when we got later on, like when they were talking to episode 3, I know we're jumping around, how I was like, y'all are just doing this to do it. Like, you have the budget and the money, like there's no intent. And I think you can definitely see that, like the journalist was saying, like, we're doing this crazy thing. And then we switched up the ethnicities, or we combining 2 ethnicities, and we're all kinds of.
I was like, what? Why are we blackface? I don't think there was ever a time that blackface was cool.
But they couched it in a way where it didn't seem that big a deal. I like it. Like, it was just like, oh, we're just gonna change, and I think we're speaking what we know now versus back then.
Yeah, that is true. You got to think, because somebody else said it in there. You got to think about the times that it was, like when this was at its height, when it was at its peak. You had to think about she was competing with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She was competing with these other reality TV shows, and they were taking things from Fear Factor. Never liked that show. Like they were pulling things together to make it a hit show
and keep people watching our show. So Tyra said the public wanted it, and that's where I disagree. I think we didn't have a choice. The internet was not back. We didn't have the internet to be like, oh, I didn't like that episode.
Well, he said the first episode that aired, she went on the chat rooms to see what the people was talking about. So chat rooms were up and running. The people were talking about it.
But how many people versus now?
True.
There was no social media.
But But then you had to think about the height of marketing where they would bring people in and have, focus groups, and they probably be
Yes.
like so if you have a small focus group, that's middle America.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How they like to say it.
Right.
If you did a focus group every week for the new episode, and it was 20 new people every week, and they all shared similarities every week, you like, well, shucks, how far can I take it? And
Yeah.
she took it too far.
She
I'm not gonna keep saying she, because the Asian man, I know he.
Ken Mont. Yeah.
I said she's getting the lashings because she was the
Mm.
face, and
Right.
they felt because she was a black woman,
Mm-hmm.
she had to be the savior and the enemy all in one.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody is saying, well, we didn't know what to do. You knew what to do. You could have said something.
Yeah.
Something in you wanted to deviate from this. And she was very meticulous. I would get the information from production. I was not there.
There. Yeah.
I could only go off what they told me.
Mm-hmm. But yet, when Shandy, yet you come and talk to the girls like a girlfriend and talk about cheating and to open it
That
up.
was so
So
messy. And Shandy, I need to unless they were still under contract, Shandy shouldn't have gone on that Tyra show.
for sure,
I would
I
it's gonna
think
be
Shandy.
humiliating
No, I don't
again.
think. I think Shandy, bless her heart, she was still young. I think Shandy got okie doke yet again.
Cause I
Like
was like, why the hell would you go there?
it was other models. You saw others, so I think they
That's
had like a
I know
reunion.
they had like a reunion. You
It,
could have sat that one out.
she could have set that one out, but
Unless
they.
they contractually obligated you to be there, I
Mhm.
would have set that one out. They would have had to contact my lawyers, and I ain't got no money, so why go through the humiliation again?
Again, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And Shandy
They.
looked totally different today than she
I
did.
didn't
I
even
said,
recognize her. I was like, what
"Oh,"
model?
I said, "Who
What?
is this lady?"
Only when they went back, I was like, oh.
She
And it
went
was
through
hard.
it. She
She
went
definitely went
through it.
through. They
She
owe her
looked
money.
like she had looked like what she been through.
Yes, she was the best example of not being protected because you are a product and not the person.
And it's so unfortunate, and that's why I was like, I have to check myself, because I was like, now wait a minute, Miss Shandy, why would you face 2 bottles of wine by yourself?
I
But
think
then
stress.
again, you're
You were having a
young,
good time. Stress.
stressed, and you're having fun.
Having fun in a country you've never been in. Just
You got
doing
stamps on your passport.
stamps on your passport. Never thought you would be here. You could actually be a model. You're getting good critiques. It's just like it's a recipe. A recipe without any support, and that's what we've seen. Kind of another through line was like these girls didn't have a coach, a person, a psychologist, somebody
There was
talk,
nobody
a
there.
mentor, somebody to
But that's what made good
constantly.
TV.
Yes,
The fact
exactly.
that they were down in the dumps.
Yes.
The fact that they weren't able to make good decisions for themselves
Mm-hmm.
or for their future.
Yep.
Because where are they now?
That's what they did. That's what they showed in the last in the
I
credits as the
gotta
credits arose.
watch the last 8 minutes.
It's where are they now? The episode 2 was more the exploitive part of the show when you talk about Kenya, and I remember that episode where she was made to feel bad when she was like she said, "Hey," like they showed the scene. I'm glad they did. Like he is touching. I just don't feel right. It's making me uncomfortable. And then they're like, "Well, we got all these people, so."
And I hated that. I
Mm-hmm.
hated that. I hated that. I hated that, because just because it's a lot of people don't mean that I feel any less uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I am
And
telling you that he is moaning in my ear. He's been making passes at me this entire time. He asking for my number. I am doing my best to, and now he is, because we are dancing. This is supposed to be us dancing on each other. He is touching me, and I
yes,
am not consenting to that. I
and the
need his
receipt.
body roll
she was like, go back, let me see that picture again, and it was a picture
and
of
and
him.
and and she was like, and the fact that was able to pass through so many people and be the picture that they use, knowing I said what I said, is crazy.
Yep.
Sue him. That was in my notes. Put cases on everybody.
I agree.
Production, Ken, Tyra, Mr. J, and the other man to put cases on them all. Put cases on them all. I bet you if they pockets hurt, they'll apologize for real this time.
Yeah, in person.
Because
yes,
that was egregious in how they handled that.
Yes. And finally, episode 3, where even after all that, I was like, the case against Tyra versus the people.
Let's go back to episode 2 with her and Mr. J wanting to quit, and how I was very intrigued by that, because he wanted to quit, and she was just like, but here's the thing.
What?
Why do you what conversation would you have wanted to have? In a lot of this, I think they were putting a lot of microaggressions on Tyra and being like, she was a diva. I wouldn't have wanted, she didn't want to talk to me. I just hate how she handled this.
Okay.
There were words and there were phrases that they were using to describe her, and I said, it's because she's black. Because if a white woman had ignored you after us being friends and you saying you want to quit and leave me, knowing that we built this show together, and now you all of a sudden can't handle it, you all of this, and she interacts with you when the cameras are on and then doesn't interact with you when the cameras are off, would you have this same, would you talk this way if she was white? Let's have a different conversation. If Tyra were white, would a lot of the conversations around how she handled the show be the same conversations today?
That's a great question. I'm unsure.
Because she gave you the cold shoulder because you wanted to quit. You wanted to leave her. And she just wasn't talking to you anymore.
Yeah.
If she were a white model, what's one of the famous whites? If she were Cindy Crawford, let's just say her.
Yeah, Cindy. Okay.
Heidi Klum, Cindy Crawford, one of them white women. If she were the diva like Tyra, Mr. J, would you be saying all these things like this?
I think he would, and the reason why is I think he would because I think he was under, like, they were friends. Like, this is my friend, and I'm loyal to my friend.
If this was your friend, keep all the same. Change her skin color. Do you think that this documentary would end like it does? Mr. J is what I would ask him.
Right.
Take your bias out.
Right. I
don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I'm unsure.
I don't think
I gotta marinate on that.
Because in the scene where she yelled at the other black girl,
Tiffany,
and they were like, she scared us. I had never seen her do that before. She was yelling and irate. Do you think, had it been a white woman, we would get those same reactions? I think the reason that it's so heinous to us is because she's black. I think that the moral of it all is because she's a black woman. And because she was black, she was supposed to protect everybody.
Yes. Okay. All right. That's why.
Hear me out. Let's chat it up. Let's chat it up in the comments.
Grown folks is talking.
Let's chat it up in the comments, because I don't think that we have these same conversations if she were a white woman.
Well, now you got me changing my mind in real time, because by episode 3, I had written her off.
She was wrong. Dead wrong.
No, not the wrong part, but like, you could be wrong, but I will still support you because you are human, and everybody makes even like big huge mistakes. Some mistakes are unforgivable. Like, you know what you did. You were not dumb to this. You know better.
Yeah.
But for her, that's where I was. I was like, you know what you did, but and you've atoned for it, and now you're a better place. But the whole Mrs. J having a stroke,
Oh
and
yeah, that
they
one
brought
was.
that up to show that I was like, she didn't go visit her. She did not go visit Mrs. J, and
But the thing
position.
about it is, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
When they left the show, it does not sound like they ever reconciled.
Yeah.
Any of them.
Yeah.
So she said she reached out. She said she did want to come visit him, and she texted him, I guess, but she just never went. How we left things was terrible.
Yeah.
Yes, she should go and see him and see about him and everything. Send her love. But if we did, it's not. Am I coming around because I know that the documentary is coming? Am I coming around because I know that it's a redemption arc that needs to be had for me? If she was genuinely trying to turn a new leaf, a reach out
should have happened. A reach out should have happened a long time ago, because he had
a
a stroke.
long
He said
time ago.
2022.
Oh,
Like, it wasn't this year or last year. It was a while back.
well, I mean, these things are shot over
That's
years,
right.
and then
That's right. So it could have been.
So
yes.
it could have been shot. So it's 2026. So this could have been shot in what, 2023,
through 2023,
2024.
Yeah. So then,
because you got to find everybody and get on their time and accord.
That's very, very true. But a phone call, it just seems like,
I think she gave him a phone call. She just hadn't physically seen him.
Right. So it was them. The three got the Miss J, Mr. J, Nigel, and then Tyra. And it seems to me, kind of the way the documentary is saying, is that the Jays and Nigel don't know that it was the above Tyra who wanted them gone. That conversation doesn't seem to have happened yet.
And I was about to say, do you think that she leaked the news?
I don't think she leaked it. I think it was leaked on purpose, because that drums up business.
It was absolutely leaked on purpose, but they were trying to be like, she did it.
She did it. I don't think she did it.
I don't think she did it either.
I think, like, I don't think she wanted to fire the Jays. I just think the new exec was like,
I don't think she wanted to fire them either, because that's her bread and butter. They made the show.
For sure. Absolutely, for sure. Without a doubt, they made the show. I just, when there's a new head honcho, and the ratings were dipping, as with any show, you're gonna plateau. You're gonna plateau. Yeah. So you got to figure out ways to be like, am I okay with this plateau? Or
because Rita Ora as the host, yes. Why would Rita Ora be there?
Yeah,
we was just doing anything.
Yes, we were. But they brought Andre Leon Talley for a couple of seasons. Anyway, it's a 3-episode series, and let's say, I don't know, it feel like they wrapped it up with a bow, but
I was gonna say, I think that that's it. What more can we talk about? Hopefully those women were able to go on with, and a majority of those women were able to go on and do things. I would love to see Danielle do more things. She is a gorgeous, gorgeous lady. Kenya, also a gorgeous lady. Oh my gosh. How did we forget that? Let's go back one time. The criminal scene, mm-hmm. and them and the girl, I can't think of her name right. Bree, saying that they use, like, why, if you know her mother is a victim of a gun, y'all know this, mm-hmm. and you choose for her to be,
because you were story. I bless her for not giving them what they wanted.
She said, I wasn't giving them what they wanted in that. Mm-hmm. I wasn't giving them what they wanted.
They got smart. So yeah, I think it did not make me feel good having watched the show back when I did. After watching this series, and I'm
Yeah, that
perplexed when
show
it comes to
would not have gone nowhere far if it was just starting out today.
yes, and I'm not sure. I don't know how it could be redone in a way it would be have
Yeah,
to be
no.
a totally different show that
It can
in order
I wouldn't want it to be redone because we've come so far as a society. Like
yeah.
we have when now we are kind of regressing because the people are taking the plus sizes out of of the stores and everything is online and all the things. But we've come so far as a society, body inclusivity,
Yeah.
you know, there are models who are what's the word?
It, not where
We have
like
models who are disabled and
yes, that's
who
yes.
represent
That
the
community.
modeling culture is vastly different
Yeah.
nowadays. Like it's not just size 0, 6 feet tall anymore.
Yeah.
There are models of all shapes and sizes in the fashion industry now.
Yeah.
The fashion industry should be changing and evolving. You know, sometimes, like I just said, it's kind of regressing, but it is changing and evolving. I don't see America's Next Top Model getting a resurgence now. If they
Right.
thought it was, this documentary is just like ugh, awful. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This stinks.
Yes, there's no reason. There's no reason to what are you trying to change because it's changed and it's being changed. So there's no hook essentially that
None.
that's good for the community. Anyway, that's all. Like, comment,
Whew,
subscribe.
yeah. Talk to us. We talk back.
For sure. Us Dollar Girls, we got to watch a comedy after this.
Ooh,
Us Dollar
that
Girls
was.
are out.
We're out. Bye.
We're out of here.